Good morning.
Good afternoon.
Good evening.
Wherever we are, or you are, on our amazing planet. I'm Ariel.
And I'm Shia.
Welcome to being here.
Yes.
Singing in the rain.
That's the name of this thing. You can either complain about the rain or start dancing.
You can celebrate being alive no matter the circumstances, no matter the weather. We're here for that possibility. We're actually experiencing it.
Here's the thing. We're not suggesting that you be happier than you are.
That's true.
What we are suggesting is that you be as you are. But for most of us, we've been raised in a climate of complaint where people complain about just about everything. Nobody can do it right. Therefore, you can't do it right either. So you're destined to have a miserable life because it's raining. Rather than you have something to do with how you are, no matter what the circumstances are. You have control in your own life, really, when you start choosing to have the life you have, not the life you wished you had. I had a friend once when I was growing up who had the ideal family. You know, he had a sister and a brother. They were twins. He had a grandmother who lived in the house, a father and a mother, and they had a beautiful house. And the parents bought them boats and gave them horseback riding lessons and everything that I thought I wanted. And he's still miserable because nothing will fulfill you if you are committed to complaining about the way your life is showing up. And here's the interesting thing. Your life can only show up as it has. It cannot have shown up differently than it did. So if you were a only child and thought you should have brothers and sisters, guess what? You were supposed to be an only child. And if you were in a tribe of children where there were so many and you didn't get enough attention, that's the way it was supposed to be for you. Now, what are you going to do with your life? That's the question. Are you going to have a life or are you going to have a complaint about your life? Choice is absolutely yours, although you may not think so. And here's the thing. We don't normally listen very well. Certainly what I just said was not a welcome
communication.
Yeah, that you looked forward to hearing, that, you know, that you're responsible for your own life.
What?
Ooh, that's horrible. Yes. I mean, you know, but in reality, you can take on the responsibility of your own life and it can be a joyous expression. Nelson Mandela found enlightenment in a prison. It can be found anywhere, or you can be in a prison and have wealth and material possessions and be miserable. So it's all up to you, really. The circumstances do not determine your ability to be well in yourself in any given moment. Now, that's where we're starting.
Sean and I have been married for 39 years. We just, a month ago, celebrated our 39th wedding anniversary. And I have never heard what he just said before. I've heard.
Well, and we were together for 2 years before that. So right. It's 41 years.
Yes, more than half your life.
More than half my life? And much more
than half, 2/3 of my life. So it's interesting when you listen. I had momentary like blossomings of ideas of possible topics or things to say as Shia was speaking, but I kept just letting them flow by and listen to what he had to say.
And by the way, I didn't plan on saying what I said.
It was a spontaneous blossoming expression, unfolding of the moment. And you have to stop playing with my shirt though, because I'm starting to get all distracted. Shai's playing with my shirt.
No, I was playing with your bra strap.
Yeah, but that's under my shirt.
Yes, but that's what I was playing with. It was twisted, so I was straightening it out. That's
There you
all.
go. Yeah, now it's straight.
But it was straight. I got it straight.
There you go.
That's, one of my jobs in life is to keep your bra straps straight.
Oh my goodness. I feel well.
Mhm.
And it's so lovely. We recently had a Living Made Easy seminar. And if we look at this, you can complain about the rain or start dancing. We had different people on who had emotional or potentially emotional life circumstances. Like Renee, shout out to you. She called in, her husband's in the hospital. He's been there for a month, and she wanted to be with him and be with us. So she signed in from his hospital room, and she left just slightly early because he got to take his once a day walk, and that was his favorite time of day, and she wanted to join him. So everything, all of it, including the challenges of his communications where he has to stop from time to time because of physical limitations right now. It was all this celebration. And then you had Amy and Andy, whose son had recently gone to college, and how emotional it was to suddenly let him move on to the next stage of his life. And then you had people who someone who just did not succeed in getting their driver's license, and it's like there's this possibility where the circumstances of your life does not have to be fodder for complaint against yourself or against anyone else. It can be a possibility for you to meet it exactly as you are, whether you're emotional or excited or blah, or just allow yourself to be you however you are showing up. Should we take our first guest?
Let's please.
All right.
Daniela.
Hi. Where are you zooming in from?
Hi, today I'm zooming in from Torre Mezzo di Falconara Albanese, and that is in the south of Italy.
Well, I
Wow.
wouldn't try saying it all. It was cool listening to you say it.
How you slowed down to enunciate it so that we can hear each piece as if each piece has meaning, even if we don't speak the language. There's something so gracious in that, Daniela. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. Yeah, I was just listening to you, and I'm touched. So I forgot a bit what I wanted to talk about.
Well,
But
it's
yeah.
very interesting. Let's talk about that for a second. So you got lost in listening to what we said. Now, the second idea or principle in instantaneous transformation is that no two things can occupy the same, in this case, Daniela, at the same time. So you got lost in listening to what we were saying, and what you were thinking about left. Because when you're engaged in your life in the current moment, then there is no distraction from second guessing yourself, worrying about a future that hasn't gotten here, worrying about a past that you think you should have done differently.
Yeah.
It's perhaps more accurate to say you got found in listening rather than lost, because we get lost in our thoughts and the things we're holding on to. And then we find ourselves in the moment, even though that is a current term, you get lost whilst listening. I really see your face and being touched. That's one of the life's blessings when you're here for it. You're touched by what's happening in your environment, your life, who you are, who the people are that populate your life.
Yeah, that's cool.
The other thing is when you have a question or it always returns if it's still relevant. It may have morphed or shifted a little bit. That's why I love listening to Shaya, for instance, because as I let things go, if something is important that I want to express, it always returns. I have not lost anything except perhaps stress or fear or worry or guilt or like that.
Yeah, I indeed was worrying about the future, and
Well, let me stop you for a
yes,
second.
You're so good.
Before we get lost in worrying about the future, how's life in this
it-
moment?
it's great. It's really good.
Really? So worrying about how the future is going to turn out only really destroys the quality of this moment, because you have to imagine what is unimaginable, which is a future that's different than this moment. And you don't know what's coming. Nobody knows what's coming.
Hmm.
But
Yeah.
if you get good at interacting with your life in the current moment, then you should be very capable of handling whatever comes along.
Hmm. Yeah.
The worst thing you've ever done would not get printed in a newspaper.
I think I didn't catch that.
I say the worst thing you've
Yeah.
ever done would never make it into a newspaper.
Because
No.
it's too trivial, although the things that we think we've all done that are quote bad generally loom large in our heads. Sometimes at night, you wake up going, oh gosh,
I shouldn't have.
am I a good person? Did I do, what did I say in that text?
Yeah, that's true. Well, while I'm here in Italy, I'm visiting my mother with Sophia, my daughter. So Christian is at home, and yeah, I think I wasn't a good girlfriend.
Is this
What is that?
question going to be a relationship question?
Yes.
So what's happening? Is he happy to be at home? Are you concerned about going back and being with him? Are you missing him? What is the overarching concern that you've got right now?
Oh, I think this is quite relaxed at the moment, and I'm relaxed that I'm here. The overarching topic is, yeah, will I be a better girlfriend when I'm coming back? Or yeah.
Well, you don't know how you're going to be until you get there.
Yeah.
But I have an idea for you. See, you know Christian from your past.
Yeah.
Could, when you go home, discover who he is newly, as though you've never met him before, rather than assume that he's going to be the way he was.
Yeah.
Because that will definitely produce what was, rather than the perhaps amazing new encounter of meeting each other newly.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I see a few things that are actually quite lovely, Daniela. First of all, before we recorded the podcast, we chatted for a little bit with Michelle, our producer, and with Christian, who's our second guest. And we are seeing each other on Zoom, even though we're releasing this as an audio. And you were asking, what is that behind us? Which turns out to be a skylight. We're in a loft. Our office is a loft, and behind us is our bedroom down below, and above our bed is a skylight. That you have been on daytime Zoom seminars with us or recordings with us, and you've never seen that before. Now I know light's different, it shines different, but there's an alertness and an interest in you that is new and is blossoming. So that was the first thing I saw. Secondly, as you came on and started to speak, you inspired ideas in Shaya, and he started speaking and you immediately stopped to listen. So I have a suspicion that that ability to listen to Christian when he has something to say could be new. And then the other thing is, Shai and I speak about this from time to time. I have a type of social hunger to hang out with my lady friends or female family members or that he does not. And when I allow myself to go on a walk with a friend or like Lenore, or go have a lunch date or facial with my friend Amy, or do things, I come back filled, and then it's lovely to be with him. So if you allow yourself to fill yourself with Sophia and your mom time, then there'll be like a potential well-being available when you go and are with Christian, provided you don't expect him to communicate like
A woman.
a woman.
That's a good point. That's a good point. Yeah, I see myself different. Of course, I'm different to Christian, and lately, not only lately. I mean, I'm investing a lot in myself through you and through my wanting to explore myself, and plus, while doing that, I grow in wanting new experience at work, and I grow with new friendships. And for me, sometimes, and Christian is, from where I'm standing, maybe a little bit different. He is interested in different things. So
Of course he is. But
yeah,
here's the thing. You have a list where he fails on
yeah,
that. You keep score of the things he doesn't do that you'd like him to do or how you'd like him to do it. And that is very corrosive to a relationship. You could just enjoy him for being who he is rather than think he ought to be different to be okay.
yeah, yes.
Because, hey, he's the guy that you got so turned on by. You may have forgotten it because you got angry with him about other things.
That you had a child together.
That's
Well, the other thing is what you just said, it was had an interesting subtext. I'm interested in growth and he is not, was
Yes.
the subtext. He's interested in growth, but just goes about it in a different way than you do. But if you compare, and that was a subject on the last Living Made Easy. There are people with kids like Amy and Andy's son just went to college, and you can either hear about their experience or you can have a conversation about yourself, many of whom were like, well, I don't have kids, I'll never have that experience, or my kids didn't go to college, or when my kids went, they don't like me so much, or what. You could have a conversation about yourself, or you could listen. And comparison is really corrosive. So you can get interested in him, or you can go, well, I'm going to seminars and he's not, and I'm investing in myself and he's not. Well, his investment is different than yours.
But if you get behind his investment and what he's interested in, I mean, do you actually ask him about his interests?
No.
Right. Now, I'm not even suggesting that you should, but it's a possibility. See, if you get interested, well, let's talk about relationship. One of the things that makes our relationship, Ariel and my relationship, as magnificent as it is that she never finds fault with me for being me. So I'm not having to protect myself all the time from her complaints that I should be different than I am. Now, I think your relationship is different than that.
Yeah.
Well, I
Yes.
want to amend that slightly. I rarely find fault with him. And if I do,
Okay.
it generally happens in a thought process. And it's so foreign, I go, whoa, what's happening in my life that I am suddenly viewing Shia through a different lens? And I look at who I've been around, what I've been investing in, what that person's reality might be that I may have synchronized up with, so that I can balance myself. And if it's not something that pops just in seeing that, I'll say, Shia, I'm just having the strangest conversation about you. Like, I will share it with him. I'm not suggesting you do that with Christian. I'm just saying that that's part of our dynamic, is that we are really honest with each other, because I've discovered that if we keep little secrets, it degrades things. And not only
Pretty soon you have to protect yourself, so you don't make sure you make sure that they don't know that you lied about something else. Pretty soon your whole life is about
Yeah.
protecting the lies, so we don't have lies and we don't have to protect ourselves. We can be vulnerable with each other, which is what you're looking for in a relationship anyways, a place where you can be.
Yeah, what is cool also with Christian is that when I'm sharing then my thoughts or worries, it usually dissolves in a second, because he's like, so what? You know, and I'm thinking, oh yeah, you're right. So maybe, yeah, I'm not sharing sometimes because I want to keep this subject or topic in myself or something like that. I
that
mean,
could be true. Most of us keep at least some level of discomfort around because it's either familiar, and so it's our comfort zone. Our comfort zone is an uncomfortable place, or well, I don't know what the or is, but
yeah,
yeah.
interesting. Yeah.
I like it. I like that. Being uncomfortable is comfortable. We've grown up in disturbing, upsetting situations, and that becomes part of our
Schematic for love.
For love and well-being.
I know we've talked about a lot of things, Daniela, and I really feel it's important to circle back around to the very first thing Shia said, because it could have gotten lost in the flow of conversation. And I really feel it to be the most potent. And that is that when you eventually do go home to Christian, you look and see who's there, rather than have the expectation of, oh, it's Christian.
Oh, I know him from all the years I've been around him.
And the other thing is to keep investing where you are, rather than being concerned about what you'll find when you get home. Because otherwise you won't actually feel the Daniela wants to be with mom bank, the battery. You'll go home depleted because you won't fully be where you are.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
You're very welcome. Hey, thank you so much for being with us today. And tell us again now
the name of the,
but in a faster, like in a normal.
Yeah. Torre Mezzo di Falconara Albanese.
Whoa.
Wow, cool.
I like it. I like it. It's beautiful. Sorry, though. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now it's your turn. Let's hear what one of you listeners has to say about being here in the transformation community.
My name is Jutta and I'm living in Hardimsdorf in Germany. And transformation for me is something which can bring me back in an instant to myself, where I see my true self and my true feelings and don't have to listen to what I think I am or should be.
Do you want to have well-being with consistency? Connect with people all over the world from the comfort of your own home at Ariel and Shia's lively interactive Living Made Easy virtual seminars. Join any of their 2-hour online events or take a deep dive into the magic of being you at a virtual weekend seminar. Come on, let's connect. Find out more and register at transformationmadeeasy.com.
Okay, so our next Living Made Easy seminar, because we were speaking about that, is next week on Monday and the following Saturday. We don't have one this Saturday coming up because we are going to be in Camp Tecumseh.
Where we're doing the freedom to breathe and the art of being a healer. And there's still space available if you care to
If
join
you want to
us.
make a last minute join in, it's going to be really exquisite.
It's in
Love
the
people who are
country.
coming.
It's in the countryside of New Jersey, and New Jersey has some very beautiful areas, and this is one of them.
Reclaiming your sense of wonder is our next virtual seminar. It is bilingual, German and English. It's November 18th and 19th. The people who are coming are sweet, and I love the theme. I also love the picture we picked. If you go to transformationmadeeasy.com, click on seminars, you'll see Reclaiming Your Sense of Wonder. And the picture is of me, probably, what do you think, age 2, maybe?
Maybe.
And it's funny because it was a picture, definitely was taken to a photography studio. My mom had done my hair up so sweet. But the main thing that was so obvious to me was the spark of enthusiasm in my eyes. And from time to time, we all lose that spark of enthusiasm. So we invite you for that.
To reclaim your sense of wonder. Then we have New Beginnings on January 6th and 7th. January 6th and 7th.
It's
of the
also
new year.
virtual.
Yes, it's also virtual. And then, of course, we're doing Costa Rica this year. And you can come for either 1 or 2 weeks if you would like to. The only prerequisite is that you join us for a weekend seminar within the calendar year that we are in. And that's to see whether we play well together.
I also love that because Costa Rica is so beautiful, and being with the people who come is so beautiful. And it's lovely to make sure that people have an investment in transformation, and they're not just going there, oh, I'm going to take a vacation. It is a vacation from
Of
your
sorts.
mind,
Yes.
but the primary interest is well-being. So, by the way, our calendar for 2024 is wonderful. It's going to make a great holiday gift. I took all the photos. It has some really brilliant layout by talented people in the community. And
I took one of the photos.
yeah, of me taking a photo. It's very
That's
sweet.
right.
The cover photo I took while Shai and I were in the Bahamas. It's one of the favorite pictures I've ever taken. And so it's so much fun to see it on the cover. And shout out to Wendy, who helped create it so that the bird's feathers wind around the 2024. So you can certainly purchase it for yourself or holiday gifts. And while we're at it, shout out to Christina in Bonn, Germany for this topic suggestion. That was really great, and having a great time with it today.
Yes. Now we have a conversation with Christian.
Not the Christian we were talking about in the last segment, a
different
Christian.
Christian.
Hi.
Hey guys, here's Christian from Munich.
So nice to see you and have you be with us today.
Likewise, likewise. Thank you. During the conversation you had with Daniela, you were talking about comfort zone, and I just had a flashback to one of my first private sessions with you in Hamburg, maybe about 14 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And so the two things. So with Daniela, so to my mind came the topic money. And I remembered the private session I had with you guys, it was also about money. And I can see myself, I made in my reality a lot of money, and this year it's different. I had expectations, it's going as well as last year, and okay, the year is not finished yet, but I can see myself like struggling. So when I have and like a lot of money, it goes like in the other direction again, and then I make money again, and then it's losing again. So I can see it's a comfort zone for me, have like worrying about money. And
So look, Christian, how are you right now?
very well.
Very well. So money is some idea about your future. See, but in this moment, you're doing very well.
Is your rent paid?
Oh yeah.
Is there food in the refrigerator?
Mhm.
And you just found a new place to live. You said
Moving
his
back
name,
to Basel, Switzerland.
right?
Yes.
So did you put down a deposit on your new place?
Yes, I will have to put down a deposit. Yes.
Yes. Do you have the money to do that?
Yes.
Oh my God, I feel so sorry for you.
Yeah.
It's just awful, this
Look,
financial
look,
bind you're in.
let's go back to something else. One day I was interested in figuring out how many thoughts we had each day.
Mhm.
So I Googled how many thoughts do we have each day? And the Google showed up with 40 to 60,000 thoughts a day. Okay. So, but 95 to 98% of those thoughts we had the day before, or the day before that, or the day before that. So you're repeating thoughts. Of course, every day your mind just kicks up thoughts, and they come in a relatively random order. So you think they're new thoughts, but they're really not new thoughts, they're old thoughts. So all these things that you think about money, they're old thoughts when you didn't have money.
Yeah.
You keep on repeating old thoughts from when you didn't have money as though that's still the truth of your situation in this moment. And in this moment, you've got money to pay your deposit for your new home. You are excited about moving back home. It's like, wait a second, why are you worrying about money?
Well,
And
the mind
then-
is a survival machine.
That is true. The other thing is this. Money comes to you. Haven't you noticed that?
Yeah. Yes.
In recent years, jobs have come to you. You haven't worked hard to find them. You're not out scrubbing dishes.
No.
No, you're doing your profession the way you want to.
In case you're worried or have lost sight of yourself, you should go to your website. Look at all the places that you have posted in recent years that you've done photo shoots as a hair and makeup consultant. You are not failing. However, I got this weird image while you two were talking. It's like our minds are survival machines, right?
Mhm.
And so if our thoughts are fuel, Christian wakes up and the Christian car goes boom, boom, or the Christian motorcycle. We'll make him a motorcycle. You know, it's like a Harley. Why not make it a Harley? Which I can't do a deep enough rumble. But it's like, I don't have enough money. It's the fuel that goes, the things you've thought before, you've run on for the day is over, you go to sleep, and then the next day you need fuel again. You're going to think these things even though they have no relevance to reality.
The other thing is 80% of those thoughts that you have are negative. So you constantly are repeating mostly negative thoughts in order to worry about your survival in the future. The only problem is that takes up your current moment. See, that takes up your life.
Yeah. So what is that, like a hint when I worry about the money that I'm not in the moment?
That's a very good thing because you're not.
Huh.
It's not only a hint, it's a fact. Because when you're in the moment, you're not off thinking about your future worries.
Well, we were speaking to another a couple the other day who has a young child, and they are on a budget. They make enough, but they have to really look at where they're allotting their finances to. And they sat down the other day to go through what bills are coming up, what to pay, what things they had on their plate. And they noticed that it was distinctly different. It was a non-stressful conversation. They also weren't avoiding certain topics. So Shai is not suggesting that because you have a surplus of money or that's why you have potential for well-being. I've seen it in people who have to really specifically budget. They either have worry or they have well-being, and it really is a moment to moment choice. But I also find it very interesting how often people are worried. And I'm looking at you, I know that you're moving, but if I look around, this is not the home that you're sitting in of a person who is destitute.
See, and here's the other thing, Christian, you can never have enough stuff that your mind feels satisfied.
This is so true, yes.
You can never have enough.
Yeah.
Your mind works on more and different and better. But the reality is you are doing really well.
When you said, is that a hint?
Oh, and the other thing about you're doing really well, I'm sorry if other people don't like that you're doing really well.
There may be some who are competitive or jealous or one of the things that I'd found for myself, an access way to my well-being or an access way to my experience of being a wealthy individual, is taking attention off myself and taking care of things and people in my environment. So as I'm talking to you, I look around, I have a project that's incomplete and I'll probably be, getting that done in the next few days. There's something really that returns to me when I complete projects. But also there's something about when I have just the thought of, oh, gee, I wonder how Christian's doing, sending a text or a WhatsApp or a little email. Hey, we're thinking of you today. Hope you're well. Or I saw this picture, it reminded me of you. Or I put on makeup today and I thought of you while I put on makeup, because it's true. You have
an influence on my life.
On our lives, and my sense of being able to put on makeup with ease without second guessing how I look. It's just part of my life now, because you've had such an influence on me, by the way. I really find taking care of the people in my environment is an access way to well-being for me.
Yeah, when your attention is on you and how you're doing, you're in trouble.
Or you're just not busy enough.
Well,
this one, yes.
Trouble.
Yeah.
The idle mind is a devil's playground.
Yeah.
Is an old expression. And you definitely will find things wrong with you if you have nothing, no way to contribute to the world around you.
Yeah.
I do have a question for you, because I suspect the listener had this idea 14 years ago when you came and you did an individual session with us. Has your earning potential, earning power increased since then?
Oh my God, yes, so much.
And it's interesting because the concerns you have haven't changed. The idea you haven't changed. But here's one of the things that you missed. If you look at your earning potential 14 years ago, we have not raised our rates for individual sessions in that time. You invested a significant amount of money
when you didn't have that much.
And I find that very impressive. And you also didn't go hungry that year. So maybe just putting in a reality check for you.
Maybe you're worth it.
And yes, I just
Maybe
find that
you're worth
impressive.
investing or reinvesting in yourself.
Yeah.
Which is also why you're coming to Costa Rica.
Yeah. When you were saying about Costa Rica, I was like, oh my God, I'm so excited. I'm coming. I'm so happy I signed up in Costa Rica for coming, because otherwise my mind will.
Yeah, it's awesome. And when you come to Costa Rica, we'll be doing videos while we're there for Video of the Month, and also for our Living Made Easy on demand subscription series. And you always help with makeup there, so it's like there's something really lovely about it. You're not only there for you, you're there to give back, and I just find that so inspiring, Christian.
Thank you. Just came something to my mind, like Saturday, a week ago, I had for a long, long time, again, a bride. So I did makeup and hair for a bride on her wedding day.
Mhm.
And I could see how my story is about, oh, a fancy makeup artist is doing not bridal makeup and hair and la 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 la, all that stories. I was there, I did her makeup, I did her hair. She was so, that how she was so happy about it, that I was there. She felt so good, she feels so well, how she looked. It gave so much back to me with, in my opinion, doing so little. Oh my God. I was like, oh my God, it's so cute.
Well, Christian, darling, you make a difference.
Mm.
Picture, I think the word you're looking for is radiant. She was radiant.
Yes, she was so radiant.
And if you take a look, for a lot of people, a lot of women in particular, that event is one of these lifetime events that have so much meaning. For her to not have to worry about how she looked, to have the perception of her beauty, because, and I've seen it even when we're in Costa Rica and we're doing these little videos and somebody sits down and you look at them and go, oh, I don't have to do anything with you. You're beautiful. That suddenly their attention goes off how they look and they're in the room. So that you are this big time hair and makeup person,
Artist.
and your words, your being has a gravitas that makes a difference for people. And I love that you allowed it to refill you, as opposed to thinking this was beneath you, which is part of why we're doing Reclaiming Your Sense of Wonder, because nothing is beneath you.
Mm. Yeah. And I remember from the wedding, when I left, her mom came to me and she was like, I have to thank you again. My daughter, she looks so pretty. I just remembered, yeah.
Mm.
Mm, mhm,
Well, see, you make a difference and it ripples out into the universe.
mm. And I'm coming to the November seminar. I'm so excited.
Great.
I think you're just so excited.
Period.
And it's lovely that you're coming to the November Reclaiming Your Sense of Wonder and to Costa Rica. And we're really, really happy you're going to be there with us.
Yes.
Likewise, thank you.
You know what's fun about today's podcast for me?
No, tell
It
me.
went in directions I absolutely had no clue it was going to happen.
True.
You know, sometimes I have an idea, or we start with Singing in the Rain. Singing in the Rain was just a impulse and a launching point that Christina and Bon was kind enough to suggest. And from here, life emerged. And if you enjoyed this podcast, share it with your friends. Share it with people. Give them the possibility of the amazingness of Daniela and Christian and what you've discovered. If you feel to, no pressure. I just find them very inspiring. Next week's episode,
The little things.
I think we have already moved into that because
We're
Christian's
touching on
talking
that.
about the little things that he's been doing that have made such a difference.
Yes.
Thanks for being with us today.
Yes.
We appreciate you as a listener. We don't always say it, but it's true. We appreciate you. So we'll be back next week.
So come on back.
Don't miss
Being
being here.